that's enough of that. Language Level Up episode 6, because we've done it 1 week and a day. So no matter what anyone else tries to do to us, we are carving out this space where we can grow as people and flourish and find something that we're interested in, something that maybe someone close to us in our lives didn't ever share the same interest in anyway. So I don't know what are we really losing, right? We're gaining a world of possibilities right at a time in your life where you start to feel like, okay, now we can settle down. And with language, it's always a world of possibilities, and that's what we're here to explore. Language Level Up helps you, my language learning lovelies, take your brain to the next level and thus drag your life along for the ride. Sometimes if you want your life to improve and you're looking, how can I do this and that better in your life? That's not really the answer. I mean, it technically would be if you had an army of people working feverishly to adhere all those goals. What you need to do is improve your brain and the way that you see the world and the way that you think about your life and the things that it will improve. You don't need to do them all better with a limited understanding. You need to increase your understanding so that everything you do is just better. So one way to do that is through language, through the wisdom that has been shared through all humanity throughout its recorded time with anyone patient enough to listen. And if you can get access to that, then you can start making some adjustments in your life. And let's make some adjustments right now. We've got 4 words, as always. They're great words. I'm going to tell them to you. And now I'm going to teach you about it. I'm not just going to tell them to you. Why did I say that? See, don't be afraid of correcting yourself if you make a mistake with language. It's not more embarrassing to have said something you didn't intend and then just sit there like an idiot while the other person wonders, you know, that's weird. Frankly, it's weird. Think how you would feel if you're talking to someone and they're like, yeah, well, when I changed the channel, the remote turned into a ray gun. It did. Well, no, but I was just afraid to tell you that I said the wrong thing. No, just correct yourself. It's fine. I don't remember what I was saying when I corrected myself, but I'm sure that I'll correct that in time. Okay, 4 words. Oh yeah, teaching you. I'm not telling you these words. I'm infusing you with the wisdom of knowing these words. You don't just... I read something that a bad writer tells the information that it is raining, conveys the information that it is raining. A good writer conveys a sensation of being rained upon. I don't know who said that, so I hate saying quotes where I don't know who to attribute them to. I didn't know I'd be saying it when I started, or I would have looked it up. But it's a beautiful quote, and I find it resonates with me a lot of the time. So try to be like that. So I'm not trying to inform you in an info dump of here's a list of words, here's their definitions. I'm trying to give you a little behind the scenes, a little... try to bring you into the world of these words, let you live inside it for a moment and see the value that they have so that I can share. I'm not trying to tell words to you guys. I'm trying to share words with you guys. And most importantly, beyond the individual words we discuss, I'm trying to share knowledge and a love of knowledge with you. I'm not saying I'm the person who has knowledge. All I have is a love of knowledge. And if you have that in whatever intellectual capacity you are acting in, you will attain as much joy and understanding and empathy as is possible for you if you pursue that path. That's the only promise I can make, but it's a pretty good promise. Okay. All right, enough of that. I've had these crazy mood swings for the last 24 hours. It's been rough, but you know, I guess I'm probably still in shock. It's like when someone just gets stabbed and it doesn't hurt until the adrenaline wears off, or shot, or has an arm amputated, or their nose blown off in a landmine, or someone chops their ear off in a sadistic ritual, you know, that kind of thing. First orgasm, you know, that kind of thing. Okay, so the first word is parasaurolopist, and this is one of my favorites because I love dinosaurs, and this is related to dinosaurs in that it is a species of dinosaur related to the much more famous Parasaurolophus. Now, what's all the fuss? Parasaurs, and these are lovely hadrosaurian creatures with a long crest on the back of their head. I'm sure if you saw a picture of the guy, if you're not a huge dino fan, you'd be like, oh yeah, I know Parasaurolophus. But I bet you sacks of shit haven't known how to say it since you're little kids, because you don't give a shit. What do I care? The world used to crawl with majestic creatures utterly unlike anything we have now, but with strange infusions of multiple kingdoms that helps illustrate evolution. Who gives a shit, right? Only kids like animals. That's so stupid. Everything on Earth was this shit for way longer than people have existed. My wife was my wife. A lady I once knew always told me that it was so childish to like dinosaurs. And I was like, why? And this lady, I can't say, this person, not a lady, I once knew, said, because little boys like dinosaurs. Like, little boys like hugs. Are hugs pieces of shit? Fuck that. That's not logic. That's not logic. That's an excuse for hate. You don't have to like dinosaurs as much as I do. I don't like a lot of shit other people like. You're not little babies because you like something other people don't get. You're cool. I don't care if the thing you like is something I wouldn't like. As long as it's not mean, it's cool to like stuff. And I'm not liking dinosaurs because I think it makes me look cool. I get that it doesn't. Anyway, Parasaurolophus is that pleasant little hadrosaur guy. Parasaurolophus is a newer discovered, and it was first discovered in 2012, but they've been working on cleaning the bones. I could never be a paleontologist. They have to work for like a decade with toothbrushes to clean these off. But a Parasaurolophus is much larger than a fuss. A Parasaurolophus is kind of a calm, lumbering creature. Parasaurolophus it's not carnivorous. None of the hadrosaur line were carnivorous. But it was, let's just say, ready for battle. You know, these creatures, they were just hoping they were too small to be of a large carnivore's interest. And they were fairly substantial. It would have definitely kept even a Carcharodontosaurid or anything like that fed for quite a while. The abelosaurids in general, I think, would have loved to snack on them, but these are more North American creatures, and those are more South American. Beautiful creatures down there, totally different line of evolution, but fascinating, and I would not want to run into any of the Carcharodontosaurids. Maybe you would. Maybe you're dumb. Anyway, Parasaurolophus looked like it was a little more ready to handle it. It had kind of armor, not like an ankylosaur fully encasing its back, but it had, what do they call those nodules? They're nodes, bone shields. They have a name. Ossa nodes or something. They exist. I'm sorry, I didn't research everything about this, and I should have. You'll understand things have been crazy since been home alone all day, and it's just like my voice is just echoing off the walls. I keep listening, like, oh my god, I haven't heard the kids in a long time, and then it's like, oh yeah, because they're gone. Last night I got up in the middle of the night because I hadn't heard my daughter. I was scared, and I went to the door, and I almost opened it to look in at her. I mean, we have a monitor, but I didn't think to turn it on because it was in the middle of the night. I was just scared, and nobody. For just a fraction of a second before I remembered what the hell was going on, I just about screamed. Anyway, Parasaurolophus, a very frightening and exciting new addition to Jurassic Park. No, it's not coming to Jurassic Park until maybe future movies. But it is a fascinating Mesozoic lumbering beast nonetheless, and I love that stuff. All right, on to word 2 of 4. We're going to do this whether anyone cares or not because I plow through. Octation. All right, this is one of those niche medical terms that still could come up. This is whenever any creature, it doesn't have to be a human, produces enough milk for 8 offspring simultaneously. That's octation. As you can see if you're, down with the history and the meaning of words and stuff. And I'm sorry, my cat is desperate to escape, and I'm desperate to comply because I love my little kitty. I don't want them to poop on the floor or be hungry. This comes up more for mammals. Mostly it comes up for mammals because there's only a few species of reptiles that produce milk-like proteinaceous substance. They think it's the missing milk and lactational link, but we do not know fully, and that's not what this is about. You get mole shrews, shrew rats, desert moles, certain kinds of... do those do it? Oh yeah, anteaters. I always confuse anteaters with aardvarks. They are not the same. I got in a huge fight with someone I used to know about this, and then we looked it up. Oh, what do you know? I'm not 100% right about everything 100% of the time. I mean, she didn't say that, but it's like, does it ever occur to you that, yeah, nobody is, especially not... Anyway, only certain humans have ever been in a position to try to do this, and I'm sure they had... It's so hard on a body to do that. So my heart goes out to anybody that's been in the position where that was their only hope. The poor woman, I hope she had a lot of nutrients, but these situations don't crop up for humans when a lot of nutrients are available. So it's actually very sad term. Okay, unlike the next one, 3 out of 4 is word basiliscope. Basiliscope is a really fun one. It's specific to herpetologists. Those are people who study lizards, not people who study cold sores or road rash. No, the herpetologists study lizards. Herpes is because you get scaly like a effing lizard. So don't bang lizards. You'll get lizard cooch. You don't deserve it. No matter what you've done, what choices you've made, no one deserves that, for one. And for two, it's really, it's just sort of there once you get it. Now, I'm not speaking from experience, because something that is named after lizard skin doesn't belong on or of my crotch. And believe it or not, you can take steps to reduce your risk. Not banging lizard people or lacertilians is top among them. If you meet a guy and you take him home, make sure the light's on enough if it's the first time, to see if he has a dong that you would describe as lizard-like. If so, be like, I'm sorry, sir. I do not want permanent lizard flesh of pestilent boils on my nether regions. Have a good day. I'm sorry to discriminate against you, but if, don't just, you have to informed consent. And I don't believe the people I'm talking about are getting informed consent. There's people who do. And I would like to salute you just as much as I condemn your counterparts. Congratulations for being a good person. I know that is awkward. I know that's tough. That's not an easy conversation. But avoiding it to inflict a lifetime of suffering on someone else and just spread this problem further and further, come on. You can do better, and I hope you do better. Anyway, a basiliscope, word 3 of 4, is a sensor that herpetologists uses to map out the infrared vision and smell and taste for some reptiles of what the reptile, in this case a lizard, sees. It is named after the basilisk lizard of fame, infamy, and real life. I believe they're quite different in all instances. But this is basically something they can point like a speed gauge at a lizard in the wild and instantly see. They see with its eyes, and what a lizard sees is very different. It's funny because being closely related, lizards and birds, the most closely related reptiles to birds are crocodiles and alligators. Thank you, because they're archosaurs. Birds, crocodiles and alligators, birds up here, crocodiles and alligators down here, and in between, dinosauria. Those are the 3 kinds of archosaurs. So today we have the crocodiles and alligators and caimans. I looked that up. I told you, I remember. And then we have birds, many, many birds. I believe birds are the most speciated vertebrates on the planet. I should do a biology show sometime. Anyway, the middle part is missing through an interstellar quirk, and I find that fascinating. So, I don't know if these would work. A lizard can see infrared, and a bird can see ultraviolet, many birds. So it's quite fascinating. All right, we're going to wrap this up. Last word. It's the one that I just learned about, and it might be taking on relevance for me, but I'm definitely playing wait and see on this. Sorophilia. I want to say that very clearly because it sounds like sorophilia. It is not. It is sorophilia, okay? And that means love of sisters. Very specifically, it does not mean love of your own sister. Everyone should love their own sister as a sister. And if you're actually related, that's a taboo I'm willing to endorse. It's fine to love your sister, but not the way I'm talking about. It's when you love somebody else's sister. Somebody else that you used to love. And then you find it's been so long since you were dating that you start to get it. Like, why is she texting me so much? I'm like, oh, for 17 and a half years, that kind of thing hasn't mattered. My date dar was really worn out. So I'm playing it cool. I'm not going to call her Aunt Blargatha anymore. Her name's Miranda. I don't know why I call her Blargatha. Miranda's a beautiful name. Her husband's into it, so I'm thinking about it. But that's like a hard line. I don't think my wife would ever forgive me. And that might, that's part of the charm. I have to really sort out how I feel. If that's how I want her to feel, then I have a perfect, some random guy is one thing, but her sister as revenge, that's, God, I hope she doesn't watch this. I want that option in play, and if she hears the way I'm talking about it, I'm talking about it kind of instrumentally, but I mean, her husband's into it, so that makes it okay, right? The guy approves. Just kidding. Believe me, it's not my fault what's happening with Miranda. Blargatha no more. Anyway, I'm going to play the theme song on the way out. I really appreciate your time and have a great remainder of your day. You're wonderful people. I've got a few texts to answer. I think one just came in now. Bye.